Yeah, I mean, the categories of the storm has to do with the wind speeds, but you can see significant storm surge with even low-end hurricanes like the one we have right now, a Category 1 on a 1 to 5 scale. But the storm surge in Galveston, it's about 3 to 4 feet higher than the normal tide would be. And we are at high tide here this morning in Galveston as well. So that's just adding a little extra height to how high the water is getting there. We see the impact. So we know there's the coastal flooding from the surge going on right now. Then we have flooding going on across a large part of greater Houston as well, especially some roadway flooding in the lower roads especially, and that's because of the inches and inches of rain that have been falling so far this morning. Some areas up to 10 or maybe even more than 10 inches, especially south of Houston. We'll look closer at that in a moment. Then we also see, in addition to the rain, all the wind that's causing the power outages. There's a recent wind gust over 80 miles per hour at the Hobby Airport in Houston. And then I'm going to take you to this red box right here, which is a tornado warning. And these are really tricky to track with these landfalling tropical systems, but sometimes embedded in these rain bands, you can see a quick little spin-up tornado that might not last too long, but they are going to pack a little punch for us, a little isolated area, and they do move very quickly and kind of wind down really quickly as well. So again, here's one spot north of Sour Lake where a possible tornado is headed. All these are going to be radar indicated. We're probably not going to get much in terms of visual confirmation of any tornadoes today because it's just all in the mix with all the rain going on right now. Now, as we look at current wind gusts, these are not forecast, these are measured wind gusts. So it's 84 miles per hour at the Hobby Airport. We've got 53 at the Bush Airport recently, and many other spots seeing tropical storm force wind gusts. You'll also notice there is a lack of numbers from Wharton down to Palacios, at Sugar Land at the airport there, Angleton, Galveston, all these areas. Either the weather instrument was knocked out or power was knocked out. We're not able to get reports of how strong those wind gusts are in those spots. But we know there are very strong wind gusts happening now, and those winds will continue to be a big issue through about noon today. So here we go into noon, and at this time, there's still maybe some gusts over 60, even 70, a little farther north of Houston. Watch this purple area shift gradually northward later this afternoon. That's where the strongest winds will be from around Houston southward and westward. We're going to find those winds backing off during the afternoon hours. And at the same time, the rain will be winding down as well. Because I know a lot of people are like, all right, I know what's happening now. What's going to happen with this as we get later into the day? Here's a look at about 10 o'clock. The center of the storm may be right over Houston at that time. By 1 in the afternoon, a lot of the rain, as you see, is going farther off towards the north. And then by late afternoon, 5 o'clock, I mean, the Beryl is a long ways off north of Houston at this time. So we will get to dry out later in the day today, and we will get those winds backing down later today as well. But in the meantime, we've got a few more hours where it's going to be quite intense.
And it's not just the heavy rainfall, but also the wind that's knocking down trees, causing 4 issues on our roadways. We have 2 locations that have been confirmed that the roadway is closed down because of fallen trees crossing the lanes. A road is blocked because of a fallen tree on Krings River Drive northbound from Waterpoint Court to Redbud Trail. It is the area highlighted in purple here on your screen that is closed down because of that tree fallen on the main lanes. Now, also on the north side of town, we have a fallen tree on Whitewood Drive near Drescher Drive that has been confirmed closing down some of the lanes there. We continue to lose stream from time to time over our Houston TransStar cameras, but we have several locations that are seeing flooding conditions on the roadway. That was your view from I-10 Katy Freeway. I was showing you that one because it was more so of the wind impacting our camera view in that part of town rather than the water, but they are still getting inundated by multiple rounds of those rain bands throughout the morning. But we have seen several lanes closed down along Beltway 8 because of flooding conditions, and we still have the entry ramp to West Park Tollway closed down because of those flooded lanes. We do also have an accident that was reported earlier this morning, closing down 2 lanes leading up to that same location. So that was just a hectic spot earlier on today. Right now, we're still just watching that entry ramp close. 2 lanes also blocked and your right-hand shoulder blocked because of flooding on 69 northbound at Dunlavy Street. The roadway there getting really inundated by standing water. Started to feed in from the side of the road. Now it's impacting 2 of your lanes. There's a crash on 288 southbound in McGregor Way. It's another reason why we advise you to stay off of the roadway, because now people have to get to the scene to ensure that those people are safe. So you're putting other people's lives at risk. And there are several spots near Bel Air Boulevard that are closed down. Newcastle Street, Maple Ridge Street closed because of flooding. And then out on Spruce Street and Bel Air Boulevard, there's roadways closed because of the flooding. And the roadway is blocked because of flooding on Evergreen Street, both ways from Chimney Rock Road to Loop Freeway. Just stay home, guys, until this is all passed over.
Definitely good advice. And a reminder, we have teams all over our viewing area trying to capture what is going on with this hurricane. In fact, in just a moment, we're going to have CW39's Kara Willis live from the Houston Office of Emergency Management to talk to experts about what they are doing right now to continue to keep our community safe and advice on what you should be doing once this storm is over. We're CW39 Houston, no wait weather and traffic.
Embrace your inner mom.
This hug would mean more if you stopped chewing.
Mom, weeknights at 11 and 11:30 on CW39 Houston.
Today is the time to meet what one desires the most.
This is where we gather to enjoy the finest food.
We learn that every laugh and every caress is a sign that memories are always around a good meal. Family and friends evolve over time, preserving the flavors that become tradition.
And remember, my favorite food is at Taqueria Sarandas.
Sabroso. Sabrosito.
Zook's tasty, tender dog treats can turn every outing into an adventure. From park to peak, wherever you roam, don't forget the Zook's. Zook's dog treats. Choose your adventure.
Whether you have water leaks, sewer stoppages, or faucet and fixture questions, Universal Plumbing Supply Company has the parts, products, and answers that you need to solve your problems. Universal Plumbing Supply Company, serving Houstonians since 1979. Call or come by and see us today.
Flight deck, we are go for launch.
Is that the one?
So much space. That open kitchen.
Is that a walk-in closet? Oh, the tiles.
Boosters engaged.
Wait, we got a problem.
Problem?
How can you sell your house when we're stuck on a space station for months?
Oh, bad timing,
But
Janet. That was the one.
No, open door.
Don't open the door.
Open door gives you the flexibility to sell and buy on your timeline.
Really?
One.
Yeah.
We have liftoff.
Houston, we have a playroom.
Ready for some fun? Dive into a world of excitement at the Wazobia Market Family Fun Fair. Come and enjoy tasty food, Afrobeat, thrilling games, fantastic prizes. Kids Zone, there's something for everyone. Join us on Saturday, July 13th at Crown Festival Park, Sugar Land, Texas, from 12 noon to 7 p.m. Free admission. Registration is required. Don't miss out on this spectacular family fun fair. We can't wait to see you. Wazobia Market Family Fun Fair, where fun meets family.
When the alarm goes off, don't stress about what comes next. At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Do you love helping others? Turn caring into a career. Interested in tech? Code your way to a career. Want to make your voice heard? Build a business. Hands-on enthusiast? Construct a career. Open the door to HCC's real-world education, where passions become careers.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You're looking at a live look from CenterPoint's outage tracker, and right now 1.5 million customers do not have power. That's 1,583,804, and the number is expected to go up. And being that there are going to be so many people without power, it's going to be getting hotter throughout the week. So this is going to be a major concern for a lot of people without power. So we'll keep you posted on these numbers and have a lot more coming up as well. And we're also going to take you with a live look outside, I believe, right outside of our studios to talk about the intensity of the rain and the wind. One of our large trees that is outside of our CW39 studios, once we enter into our parking lot area, has fallen. It was pushed down so hard because of those huge gusts that were moving through earlier this morning. And this is just a scene that is indicative of what is going on around our entire viewing area. And I've been seeing pictures coming in, which I want you to send yours as well to news@cw39.com. Send pictures, photos, video of anything that you see that is safe to capture. Please don't be out there when the rain is just coming down hard and trees are falling. Once that is calmed down, please capture those photos, send them to us because we'd like to share that with our viewers as well. So let's head back over to Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger to talk more about this. And as you're seeing these pictures, of course, we saw the Strand area we showed earlier, which we're going to show again. Yep. That is flooded. We're seeing trees outside of our own building falling down. This storm is really packing a punch.
Yeah, and those images we showed, just a sample of what's happening over a huge part of southeast Texas as we are getting inundated with rain and strong winds. And yeah, 1.5 million plus without power right now. Pretty wild to see that. And the strongest winds are still approaching some of our northern areas right now. Here's the latest on the hurricane. Yes, still a hurricane, even though the center is over Fort Bend County right now. 75-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and the speed, the movement of the storm has remained the same over the last several hours, heading north at about 12 miles per hour. We see tropical storm warnings in yellow here, so tropical storm force winds in these areas, which extends well north of Houston later in the day today. Here's a look at radar right now. We've got that spin happening around the middle of the storm, which is centered pretty close to Rosenberg right now, right over 5969 there in Fort Bend County. And again, look at all the rain swirling around this. Now, some of the spots where we had the heaviest rain totals so far, for example, in Brazoria County, there's still some rain coming down there, but it looks like the most widespread and intense rain is concentrated from near Galveston eastward and then just kind of in this curl shape to around Houston and northward. And as this continues to head north, we will see the rain let up gradually later in the day today, especially this afternoon. Things should be drying out. But we have the rain we're dealing with. There's flash flood warnings over a large area. We still have this red spot right here marking a tornado warning that was issued north of Sour Lake, although I believe the little cell that may have produced a tornado might be just on the far edge of this warning right now. It's really hard to gauge where these are when we have this just large, tropical system overhead, but sometimes in these rain bands, there might be a spot that shows just for a minute or two, maybe some rotation that might be a brief, weak tornado. So still a tornado warning going there. I want people to be aware of it, but I think what was initially issued, the tornado warning that was initially issued, I think the cell that may have produced that warning might have kind of broken up a little bit by now. All right, now as we look at rain so far, and note the legend right here. So you start getting up to those blue colors, that's around 10 inches or more. So we see instances of that south of Houston and Brazoria County, but even closer into the city, we've got some rain totals now approaching 10 inches. I'll bring you in. You can see right around the southern border of Harris County, Pearland, Fresno, Sugar Land, those areas might be up towards 10 inches so far out of all this, and the rain is not done yet. Then we have the winds, which has been knocking out power, and just a short time ago, the Hobby Airport was measuring an 84-mile-per-hour gust. Now it's 75 miles per hour. Still, that is extreme. The Bush Airport at 53-mile-per-hour gusts right now. A lot of these stations, though, either the weather instrument has been knocked out of service or the power is out, and we're not getting reports from Sugar Land, Wharton, down to Palacios. Same thing for Angleton and Galveston. So can't tell you exactly what those winds are doing right now, but we know they are strong as the storm is still swirling just to the southwest of Houston at the moment. And our model does continue to show that we've got these strong wind gusts that'll take over a large part of the area through noon. Now, as we get past that point, the strongest winds start going a little farther north. So things will improve slowly but surely around a lot of southeast Texas by the afternoon hours, especially the later we go into the day. Now, where will the position of Beryl be as we continue through the day? Well, it's pretty close to Houston or just southwest of Houston right now. It will head north, and note the rain. While it's not totally done, it is kind of winding down midday for the Houston area and area south. As we get into the afternoon hours, that heavy rain is transitioning well off towards our north. The center of the storm by about 5 p.m. way off to the north of Houston. So we'll be on the move. We will see things improving around here. But with more than 1.5 million people without power, I don't imagine that's all going to get suddenly restored today. So as we get into these hotter days ahead, keep that in mind. Some of you may be without air conditioning for a little while. I wouldn't even have a guess of when all this power is going to be restored to our area, but I would imagine there will be power outages lingering at least into tomorrow, and you see those high temperatures by then are back into the 90s. At least, though, after this afternoon, rain is pretty much going to be hard to come by for at least a couple of days around here.
And we are getting more and more reports of high water throughout town. Our traffic map is getting inundated by a lot of those reports that we are seeing come through. You can see a lot of yellows, oranges here on our map. From Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, he tweeted out that there are currently high water rescues being conducted along the 1300 block of Clear Lake Road. So keep that in mind. If you live near Clear Lake Road, the water is high and things are being done to protect those who are still trying to commute out in the elements this morning, even though we've highly advised you not to do that. On to our ongoing closure, the entry ramp to West Park Tollway eastbound from Sam Houston Tollway westbound is blocked due to flooding that's still in place from the very early morning hours. 2 lanes remain blocked, as well as your right-hand shoulder along 69 northbound at Dunlavy Street. We now have a report of both high water and an accident out near McGregor Way. The new high water report, I have not seen this one yet, but 2 lanes remain blocked because of flooding on 288 at McGregor, and then we have a crash that occurred shortly after that, southbound lanes at McGregor. Now zooming out, we'll show you another location that is seeing additional flooding, and that's causing for some issues kind of in our smaller subdivisions, communities right outside of the 610 loop, west loop. We have the road blocked because of flooding on Bel Air Boulevard between Newcastle and Maple Ridge, also on Bel Air Boulevard from Spruce Street to Bel Air. Closed down out on Evergreen Street. Both ways from Chimney Rock to Loop Freeway are currently closed. And it's not just the rainfall that's causing issues for the roadways, but also the wind. We have 2 reports of trees blocking the roadway after being blown over by those strong gusts. The road's blocked because of a fallen tree on Kings River Drive, northbound from Waterpoint Court to Redbud Trail. And then also, we have a report of a tree down on the roadway at Whitewood Drive near Drescher Drive. I'm going to go and pull up the storm one more time as it continues to barrel across our area, and multiple storm reports being seen all throughout the hour that we've been on air so far today. And back to trees falling down on the roadway. We do unfortunately have a fatality that has occurred this morning as well because of a fallen oak tree on a home, and that's in Kings River Village in Humble. So our hearts go out to the individual involved in that, and everyone please stay weather aware throughout the next couple of hours as we continue to track the storm making its way through southeastern Texas this morning.
All right, let's move from that area down a little further south, Brazoria County, that was inundated by this hurricane. In fact, our own Ryan Chandler, who's our, of course, state capitol correspondent and does so much more. He's with our sister station out of Austin, and he's joining us now live from, of course, Lake Jackson. He's been there all morning long. The wind has been whipping up and down. I know you had a slight little break, but how are conditions? Are they kind of receding a little bit, or you still are just getting more and more wind?
Well, Houston, my heart goes out to you. You're now experiencing what we here in Lake Jackson endured this just 3 or 4 hours ago. There's massive winds, that rain just pummeling the city center, as I understand it now. And given the damage that we're seeing in Surfside, everybody needs to take the utmost precautions to stay safe as you weather this storm. In Surfside, we're seeing images of a storm surge that has covered whole neighborhoods in water. Damage to those iconic A-frames, you know, if you've been to the Surfside beach, those A-frame buildings that extend out into the water, 2 of them are catastrophically destroyed. We've also heard there's an 18-wheeler overturned at the Buc-ee's around power lines and other structures. So it is not safe at all to try and travel the Surfside today. And for the people that are there, hopefully they can stay safe and stay sheltered and still wait for the storm to move north. Now, we're going to try to make our way there and see what we can hear from the locals about how their night was enduring those 95-mile-per-hour winds and all that storm surge right after here. But right now, all eyes are on Houston, and really the message needs to be stressed over and over again. Stay home and stay safe. Let me be outside so you don't have to be. Already, I hear that we already have one death in the Houston area, so it just goes to show you need to take this storm seriously. It is life-threatening, and we'll get through it together very soon. But again, I'm rooting for y'all there in Houston, and we'll bring you a look at how people just south of you have dealt with this storm as soon as we can talk to them.
Thank you so much, Ryan Chandler, for braving the elements for us and bringing us all of the latest details as well. And stay safe out there. We're CW39 Houston. No wait, weather and traffic. A lot more still ahead.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
I'm going to make this real simple. National Floors Direct will beat anyone's price by 15% or it's free. Free rooms, 60, 70% off, a big box warehouse, it doesn't matter what the sale or offer is. We'll beat their price by 15% or it's free. Call 888-400-FLOOR and get a guaranteed low price on next day installation of name brand carpet and luxury flooring. 888-400-FLOOR. We beat their price by 15% or it's free. Real simple.
Every decision you make will be as good as getting a Volkswagen at the Savvy VW Summer Sales Event. 2024 Volkswagen models cost less to maintain than Honda. Get 0.9% APR financing or a $3,500 customer bonus on a new 2024 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
What was that?
Nothing. Gorilla Super Glue. Brush for edge-to-edge coverage and nozzle for precise application all in one. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
These feet are hustling for customers. Sometimes I'm on my feet for over 16 hours a day. They get real cracked, dry. It's not good. I depend on Healthy Feet.
It's America's #1 selling foot cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these feet, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keefe's working hand.
In 16 years, Greg Gerstner will land the perfect cannonball with friends he's already meeting now at AARP volunteer and community events to help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
TXU Energy is changing the energy game with Live Your Free, the first and only plan of its kind that automatically adapts each month to give you free energy when you use it most.
Having a plan that's made just for me changed everything.
Live Your Free adapts to your changing energy needs.
So I always get my biggest savings guaranteed.
Either every day,
every night,
or every weekend.
Which I can easily see in a TXU Energy app.
Those are savings you never have to choose.
Choosing's not really my thing.
TXU Energy. Energy for everything.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
All right, we got a live look real quick of the Strand Cam right there. It is inundated with water. And of course, we are, following all of the latest developments when it comes to Hurricane Beryl this morning. And we saw this before it looks like this, but now you are looking, both of you. I have Kerrigan and Adam with me right now. Seeing the impact of what this hurricane is doing is something else, isn't it?
Sure is. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about the storm surge earlier, the potential for it to get as high as 4 to 6. I'm seeing a surge around 3 or 3.5 feet above the normal tide level in Galveston this morning. So there's probably a combination of that and the rain down there causing those images. But we've got rain and wind that we got to get through for 3 or 4 more hours before things start to get a little better.
Now, wasn't this about high tide when a lot of that water was coming through too, right?
Yeah, I believe it was right around 7 a.m., right, for high tide this morning?
Yeah. Okay. So are we expecting possibly even more of that to increase because there's more rain that's still falling or not?
Well, I think a lot of the flooding that they're seeing right now, especially over the roadways and the low-lying areas near the coast, it's because of the surge and high tide happening near the same time. The rainfall so the rainfall's in the order of inches.
Yes.
Surge is on the order of feet.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a whole different story right there.
And I have a feeling the surge, the ocean level in Galveston is probably around as high as it's going to get out of this event. Might fluctuate maybe by a few inches between now and midday, but probably about as high as it's going to get right now. But yeah, we saw the big problems we have there. And now as we look at radar, we've got the center of what is still Hurricane Beryl, just southwest of Houston, basically over Fort Bend County right now, nearing the Katy area. And, right under the center of that storm is actually where there's a little kind of donut hole where there's a lack of rain, but we still have some heavy downpours now swirling from south to north right through the center of Houston, whereas earlier it was going more so east to west. So just another band of persistent rain that's going to pile on maybe a few more inches on top of the more than 6 inches we've had around parts of the city. So that is another threat here. So we talked about the wind. We've got the heavy rain still ongoing. That's why there's flash flood warnings. There are some roads you can't drive across right now. Hopefully everyone's just kind of like hunkered down at home being safe. But again, a lot of people without power, more than 1.5 million people without power. I'll take you into the northeastern part of our area just to show you that the tornado warning we had earlier has expired. It was just north of Sour Lake. But we may still see some tornadoes spin up in the mix within this rain here over the course of the next couple of hours. Tornado watch, last I saw, I believe, expired around 10 a.m. We'll see if that gets extended. But that's just yet another threat you get with these landfalling tropical systems, is there can be brief, quick little tornadoes that just spin up mixed within the rain. Aside from all this, we have the really strong winds, and I mentioned that, but I want to show you some actual numbers as to how strong the winds are gusting right now. 75 miles per hour at Houston's Hobby Airport and 53 at the Bush Airport. And if you didn't catch earlier, we were talking about the flight cancellations. I mean, departures out of Bush, there was like 500 canceled flights today, just to give you an idea that basically Monday is canceled, just to put it in a kind of a simple text. And now as we get an update, look at this, guys. Just as I was talking, we have new wind gusts measured up to now near 80 at the Bush Airport, 84 miles per hour at the Hobby Airport for that gust. And winds like this are going to continue to shift gradually a little farther north. You can see up towards Conroe, for example, it's a 54 and 49 up towards Huntsville. So now they're starting to see some stronger winds. And as Beryl continues northward, those strong wind gusts are going to keep going even farther north. So again, already 1.5 million customers without power. I think that number is going to keep going up before hopefully it starts to improve later in the day today. As we look at the forecast wind gusts, notice the purple area. That's where the really strong winds are. This is noon. Here we go into 2 and then 4 o'clock. Notice how everything's gradually heading a little farther north. So it's good to see that trend right there. Last thing I'll show you before we head to break, and obviously we'll be back shortly after break with what's going on. But notice how the rain, the heavy stuff, by about noon, 1 o'clock, we really start to see some much needed improvement, things drying out, other than a few scattered wraparound showers. And by late day today, we might even get a little sunshine coming out before the day is over. So again, the morning hours is when things will be most intense. We do expect improvement in the afternoon. We'll be talking more about Hurricane Beryl. We should have a 9 a.m. update from the Hurricane Center in a few minutes. We'll share all that with you coming up on the other side of the break.
Summer loves parties, and parties love electricity. So party on with the Flex Your Credits electricity plan from Reliant. With your 2 highest use days free every week automatically. And for those times when your parties are particularly cool, $200 in bonus bill credits when you need them most.
Call or visit Reliant today to make your summer more Flextra.
Reliant. That's power. Your way.
You know, when it comes to home services, there's a lot of fly-by-night companies. You know what I'm talking about. People who are in business today making promises about lifetime warranties they have no intention of keeping. Due West, we've been in business since 1978, and we can take care of your foundation repair needs, your plumbing needs, your air conditioning needs, really all the services you need to maintain your home. So when you want the best, call Due West and let us come out, see what's going on, and get you taken care of.
Need cash today? Speedy Cash has you covered with solutions that provide cash on the spot, helping millions with quick, reliable loans for over 25 years.
Speedy Cash got me the cash I needed, how I needed it.
In store, over the phone, or online, Speedy Cash makes it easy with quick decisions and convenient solutions to get the cash you need today.
Plus, it's not just about money. They treat you like family.
Just call, click, or come in, and you could have cash today.
Love that Speedy Cash.
The best place to find the best deal on an SUV is at your local Honda dealer. That's because Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda America's best value brand for the 10th year in a row. That includes the Honda HR-V and the Honda CR-V, a KBB.com best buy, plus the award-winning Passport and the Honda Pilot. Right now, well-qualified buyers can get Pilot for $419 a month or get 2.9% APR financing. So for big deals on America's best brand, see your Greater Houston Honda dealer.
Teens have drama.
One more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh, how does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
Did I read this? Did I get eggs? Where are my keys?
Memory and thinking issues keep piling up? It may be due to a buildup of amyloid plaques in the brain. Visit morethannormalaging.com.
Live, no wait weather and traffic on CW 39 Houston.
It has been a long morning of strong winds, lots of rain, and so much more when it comes to Hurricane Beryl, and we have been following all of it for you right here at CW 39 Houston. And in fact, we have more on what is still developing this morning that we have been following since the beginning of this. It is a hurricane. It has been hitting our area, and Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger has been following it step by step, every single step of the way. He joins us now live to tell us where this hurricane is now.
Well, the center is actually very close to Houston. Just got an update from the National Hurricane Center at 9 a.m. So here we are 5 hours after landfall, which was down around Matagorda. And still we have a Category 1 hurricane. Max sustained winds at 75 miles per hour. Now the winds, as this is over land, will gradually start to come down, but not anything drastic anytime soon. But later in the day, this should get downgraded to a tropical storm, which means the winds are lower. But still, there's all kinds of threats with this, whether or not it's a hurricane or a tropical storm. We have a lot of rain swirling around it. We have flooding, downpours. We've seen many inches of rain over a huge part of southeast Texas. We also have these tropical storm warnings in yellow right here, meaning tropical storm force winds could extend as far north as the northern edge of the map right here. So that really goes pretty far inland. Now, as you see on the radar, we have the center of circulation pretty close to Katy right now, right about here, just nudging into the western part of Harris County. Still, there are very strong winds that extend outside of that as well. We've got tropical storm force winds and even at times hurricane force wind gusts that have been measured just recently in parts of Houston. And then the other problem with telling you exactly how strong the winds are is we don't have a lot of the weather instruments. They've kind of been knocked offline with all the intense winds. So I can't tell you everywhere how strong the winds are. But again, there's just very strong winds. You know that. There's many, many people without power. And by that, I mean more than 1.5 million. And I fear that number may go up before it starts to hopefully go down. We'll see when that begins. Of course, it's probably not too safe for crews to be out there right now. But as we look at radar closer into Houston, we've got this heavy rain band that's just going straight north to south, right through the heart of the city. That's going to mean even more rain coming down. Speaking of rain, I'll show you what we've got estimated by the radar. So we've got a major rain event here unfolding. We've got the purple colors, and you see the legend right here indicating where there's more than 6 inches of rain. So a lot of that over a huge area. And then as we come in a bit closer, notice where there's these blue spots. So that's estimating up around 10 inches of rain. And I showed you the radar with more just persistent rain funneling right through this area. So we're going to see some rain totals, if not already, that top 10 inches out of all this. Easily, there's going to be some flooded streets as a result of that. Now, switching over to wind gusts. And again, this is just incredible to see how high some of these numbers are. 84-mile-per-hour gusts recently at the Hobby Airport, 79 miles per hour recently at the Bush Airport. That's why, from what I could tell, almost every single flight canceled today out of the airports. And those wind gusts now extending tropical storm force as far north as Huntsville, where it's 49, College Station at 41. And it's those northern areas where the wind gusts will be going up even more as we go later into the day. Now, the rain and the wind both will see some improvement by the afternoon in those departments. I think late day today, rain will pretty much be completely gone before the sun sets today, and the wind should back off. And if you're wondering what the rest of the week looks like, very little rain the next couple of days. And once we get past today, we're back to seeing some more common summertime heat around here with those highs getting in the 90s. And if people remain without power, that's going to be another element we'll have to think about once we get past today.
Houston Transtar cameras, the wind really is whipping out there along 288. Like Adam said, those rain bands right now are passing pretty much south to north through town, and it's creating for an extensive line of wind along 288, which runs into the city. So here's our view from Claiborne, and we can see those rain bands just coming in almost like parallel to the roadway itself. Let's see if our satellite camera is up. Check this out. It is rocking down there. We can see those trees really blowing in the wind, and whatever little structural building this is, I mean, it looks pretty sturdy, but it's taking some wind right now. Let's go out to our Southmore camera view. This is near a high water location that was reported earlier. Those street signs also holding on tight. Also, if you can see for the entry ramp of the roadway, there is a large pile of standing water. So this could potentially be a closure if you are out and about. Be on the lookout for that. The entry ramp to 288 near Southmore, out toward Calmet. Still seeing pretty rough conditions out there considering the amount of wind and rain that we're seeing. And out on Holcomb, we have a police officer blocking off the entry ramp onto 288. Likely due to high water up ahead. That's been the case throughout several parts of town. We're continuing to get more and more reports of high water here today. One of those being a new report that I just now got through along 45 North Freeway and FM 1960. This is a popular roadway, which no one should be on right now, but I've seen videos of about ankle, knee-deep water in some of these lots surrounding the roadway in this part of town. There have been multiple high water rescues as well. Stay home and wait until it all blows over. You'll have time later today to be out and about.
All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the CenterPoint outage report numbers for you this morning. We talked about it earlier, how over 1 million people and at last report, if we can make sure we refresh the number here to have the most accurate number, at last report we received that 1.5 million people are without power. That's 1,583,804 people, at least customers, I should say. And now the number, as we just refreshed, as I said, it has gone up again. So we're talking about 1,741,895 customers, CenterPoint customers, do not have power. And the storm is not done yet. We can see as many as 2 million plus possibly without power, and we do not know how long it will take for them to restore power. But if you still have power and you're watching us right now, please make sure your phones are charged, because go to our CW39.com location and you can get our website, and you can also see us give you live updates. This show that you're seeing right now is being broadcast live streamed on our website, so you can be up to date on everything when it comes to this hurricane and then some. So as they are continuing to monitor the conditions and preparing to make sure customers who are experiencing power outages are taken care of, we want to remind you to scan this QR code as well to always be updated with CW39 on weather conditions and traffic conditions, where we're streaming this live for you as well. Now, a reminder, we have more information we're giving you as well. We have a lot of quick links on our website, CW39.com, with everything when it comes to Hurricane Beryl. Plus, catch up on the latest on continuing coverage on the work to track this hurricane, the CenterPoint outage numbers, as I mentioned, and also resources that you may need after this storm is complete. But in the meantime, also go to news at CW39.com. We're already getting pictures from some of our viewers this morning about what the storm has done in their communities in their area. Now, once the storm has actually receded from your area, please send photos as well. Do not go out into the storm. It is too dangerous to do that just to capture a video or a picture. Wait until it calms down and then send them to news at CW39.com. We'll be right back.
Impactful stories can be found right here every night at 9. The news you want at the time you need.
ABC 13 Eyewitness News at 9 on CW39.
YMCA's Operation Backpack isn't just about school supplies.
That's right. It's about empowering kids and helping provide a brighter future.
Your donations guarantee each child is ready for the first day of school, and helping is easy.
To donate, scan the QR code on your screen or text YMCA Backpack to 24365. Send kids back to school prepared and with the tools to be successful. Be a part of YMCA Operation Backpack, brought to you by these fine sponsors.
$12,720. That's the average cost you pay for term life insurance over 20 years. $12,720 that you could spend on family, loved ones, or yourself. With a return of premium life insurance plan from Senior Life, getting all that money back is possible. That's right. With return of premium life insurance, we don't save you hundreds of dollars, we save you thousands, because we give you all your money back. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. Why would you buy life insurance from another company when Senior Life gives you all your money back? Get all your money back with return of premium life insurance from Senior Life. Call the number now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
Hi, I'm JR with SellToJR.com, and I buy houses as is in any condition. If I buy your house, SellToJR.com can help you find your next home or retirement community. If you want, I can handle the whole move, even the items you don't want to take with you. If you're considering selling your house but think there are way too many roadblocks, call me or go to SellToJR.com for your free, no obligation cash offer.
Hey Houston, the QR code on your screen. Go ahead, grab your phone and open your camera. Now download our CW39 app and stay connected 24/7 to news happening in your neighborhood and our city. Also, Houston weather's always changing. Get the certified most accurate forecast at your fingertips. Plus, up-to-the-minute traffic updates. Download the CW39 app. Stay connected.
Welcome back, everyone. And earlier this morning, we reported that a person had died after a tree smashed the roof of the family home in Humble. According to Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, and deputies were responding to the 20,900 block of Heather Grove Court in the area of Kings River Village when a tree fell on a house. One person is confirmed dead. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez also posted this on X that 53-year-old man was sitting in the home with his wife and children when the tree fell on the roof. A tragic incident, and of course we will keep you updated online at CW39.com. Meanwhile, when it comes to damage throughout the area, one of our great viewers here at CW39 sent us this. This is a viewer sent us a photo of damage, and this is the damage that the Hurricane Beryl has brought to their neighborhood. This is courtesy of the Burros family at Ashford Lakes near Alief and Stafford. You can see a fence is completely damaged across the street. Lots of debris and damage because of the storm as it was passing through. And they are not alone. Thank you for sending us that great photos. And also there was damage from other viewers sending us from this hurricane. It destroyed the backyard of a home for this family in the Katy area. Look at that. Things just torn to pieces. A fence completely knocked out. Outdoor furniture completely ripped apart. This is just a small fraction of what is happening around our community. And a reminder, if you have photos or video of your neighborhood or damage you're seeing from this hurricane, go to news@CW39.com. We would like to share it with our viewers as well. As long as it's safe, don't go out there when the rain is coming down and the wind is blowing. Just make sure it's safe before sending it to news@CW39.com. All right, well, pictures like that you're seeing with damage and fallen trees and fences down is just indicative of what the power of a hurricane can produce.
Yeah, the National Weather Service just a few minutes ago relaying a ton of storm reports our direction in terms of places that have seen wind gusts over 60, over 70 miles per hour. And no surprise that many areas have experienced wind gusts like that. Now, the center of what is still Hurricane Beryl, not a tropical storm, it's a hurricane, although maybe later today. In fact, we know later today it will get downgraded. But the center of it is right here over the western part of Harris County, Fort Bend County, right around Katy, Cinco Ranch, for example, just naming some spots there. That's where the center of a hurricane is right now. And you can see the heavy rain still swirling through Houston. Now, notice what's going on the south and west side of this storm. Yes, there's some rain, but it is lighter. And rain like that in a couple of hours should be more so over Houston, with the real heavy stuff continuing to shift a little farther north of Houston just in the next few hours. But there is just persistent heavy rain funneled right through the middle part of the city, inside the Beltway, inside the Loop right now. And that's why we've seen these rain totals that are already perhaps around 10 inches in parts of the city, and maybe even still going up with more rain coming down. Notice these, you're going to see these on the radar map, these large green outlined areas. Those are flash flood warnings. No surprise from that, as again, we've seen just a ton of rain and more coming down. So that's why those warnings are issued. Some flooded streets out there, and that's going to continue for at least a few more hours. I'll come in even closer on radar. Just kind of interesting to see this, the center of the hurricane. Not that it's a clear eye. I don't believe you can't see sunshine right through the middle of this thing right now, but the center, the eye of Hurricane Beryl, is right over Katy, right around the west Grand Parkway 99 area, and right around the Harris-Fort Bend County line at the moment. Now, peak wind gusts so far, and keep in mind some of these wind gusts were higher, but the instruments got knocked out before we could get a clear picture, but we did get those gusts over 80 down along the coast. Galveston at 75, and then power was knocked out there. 84 was the highest gust measured at the Hobby Airport, and nearly up to 80 at the Bush Airport, and that's what those current wind gusts are looking like right now. North of Houston, we've got gusts starting to get up over 40, over 50, and those wind speeds will increase areas north of Houston as the storm continues to work its way a little farther northward over the course of the day. There you see those wind gusts really getting high a little bit farther north. So there's going to probably start to be more power outages taking place over our northern areas as we head into the early afternoon. By late afternoon, if you're wondering, when does this finally wrap up? When can I safely go outside and maybe assess things, or if you need to travel somewhere, do that? Well, by late afternoon, here's 4 p.m., for example, the wind is certainly starting to back down from around Houston southward and westward. And also at this time, we expect a lot of the rain by late afternoon to pretty much be done. So if you're wondering how long you need to hunker down, definitely for the next couple of hours. Gradually, things will improve later in the day today. We'll talk more about that part of our forecast in the next block next time you see me.
All right, so back to the placement of the eye of this hurricane. It's crossing over the Katy Freeway as we speak, and we can see a distinct change in our Houston TransStar cameras as we watch this transition of the eye cross over the main lanes. The further closer to town that we take our Houston TransStar cameras, the further, we just lost signal with that camera view, man. Well, the further that we get away from the eye, the more hostile conditions get for us once again. But I want to show you the camera view from I-10 Katy at Fry. I'm hoping that we can get some service back once again, and that just might not be the case. Let's see if we can get it from Barker Cypress. Not getting it there. Park 10, not getting it there either. So I'm just going to pull up radar once again and see if I can get us a different look from the Katy Freeway. I'm going to try our managed lanes camera view to see if that will maybe be slightly different coverage than our I-10 Katy camera views. All right, so here we are once again, I-10 Katy at Fry. Let's see if I can get our Eldridge one up for you guys. And it's still going to take some time. Our camera views are monitoring some technical difficulties, just like you likely are at home, with power outages and strong winds being seen throughout town. Yeah, looks like it's just not going to cooperate, which is such a shame, because this is probably the coolest morning of the moment of the morning, whenever you could see the transition from clearing almost, not completely sunny skies, but clearing skies versus the dark storm clouds with just a couple of exits apart. Anyways, let's go into a couple of high water locations. Once again, we have 45 North Freeway at FM 1960. We've seen several reports of road closures. Because of that heavy rainfall that we've seen. These are some new closures that we have along Hardy Toll Road. You can see those areas highlighted in purple there on your screen, indicating where the roadway is impassable because of flooding conditions. FM 1960 northbound along Hardy Toll, and a little bit further up the road, we have FM 1960 southbound. So both north and southbound roadways closed there. Also 1960 Cypress Creek Parkway, both ways between Greenbrook Drive and Briar Creek Boulevard are currently closed. I'll keep wishing for these cameras to come back up, but in the meantime, we got to do what we got to do when conditions are like this. Over to you.
It's always best to be safe and keep your eye on the roads, or best to just stay off the roads right now until all of this water recedes. Thank you so much, Kerrigan, for bringing that to us. Meanwhile, the Harris County Emergency Operations Center has been very busy for these past few days getting prepared for this hurricane. And CW39's Kara Willis has the latest.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm here at the Office of Emergency Management now as we continue to track Beryl, and I'm here with Brent Taylor. He's going to walk us through exactly what's happening here right now as we continue to prepare to keep everyone safe. So good morning to you, Brent. Thanks so much for having me. Why don't you walk us through where we are right now?
Good morning. So this is the Emergency Operations Center. This is kind of like the nerve center for the city of Houston's response to this emergency and any others. So in this room, you're going to have representatives from police, fire, Public Works, Houston ISD, Centerpoint, all the key stakeholders in keeping services functioning and, responding to emergencies as they happen.
And what are we looking here on the screens? I see multiple screens here. How is this helping us get information out to the public?
So what we're able to do here is we're able to track road conditions, bayou conditions, the weather, obviously. We have forecasting tools available to us from the National Weather Service. All these things that are tracking the systems that are available and how we can use that information to respond and to inform people.
Okay, so what do you want everyone out there to know as of right now with what we know about Beryl?
Well, at this point, we're still in the thick of it. I would certainly say stay off the roads. It's just not worth it to drive right now. We're seeing vehicles going into high water. We're getting reports. There have been a handful of swiftwater rescue or high water rescues that have had to happen today. There are 750,000 plus customers without power right now. So really it is stay off the roads, stay where you're safe, and you don't want to put yourself or anyone else in danger.
And of course, turn around, don't drown if you see any high water, for sure.
Absolutely. We see that so many times. It's just not worth it. Just as little as 6 inches of water can move a vehicle and can pull you off of the road into, God knows what. So we want you to stay safe. We want everyone to, we're going to weather this storm together. We're going to get through it, but we need you to do your part and stay safe, stay off the roads, and certainly do not drive through any water.
And we know these conditions can change at any moment, so it's important to stay updated with the latest information. And we have that information on our website at CW39.com. I'll continue to be here this morning here at the Office of Emergency Management and be sure to tell you what you need to know for the rest of the morning. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Karen. Let's take a live look outside real quick. Right outside of our CW39 studios here at West Park Drive. And you can see the wind has died down a bit, but hey, we've got the end result of it. One of our big trees actually fell over because of the force of this hurricane. We're CW39 Houston, no wait weather and traffic. And we want to remind you that you can capture videos as well. Videos, pictures, send them to us of the aftermath of hurricane. And please send them to news@cw39.com. We will share that with our public and our stories. And you can read more about what's going on throughout our community and this hurricane at cw39.com. We want you to submit that content there as well. And of course, you can get quick links to stories related to this hurricane and more. You can get more information on how to continue to track it, as well as the Centerpoint power outages. At last report was over 1.7 million customers still without power, and the number continues to increase. Of course, we've got a lot more on our hurricane coverage, more from our chief meteorologist, Adam Kruger, as well as more on traffic from Kerrigan Showman right after this break.
Republican Senator Ted Cruz, Democrat challenger Congressman Colin Allred. What drives them to take on the challenge of running for Senate in Texas? Our exclusive sit-down with both men. Race for Senate, Cruz versus Allred. Wednesday at 6, only on CW39 Houston.
Attention all seniors. You can now get up to $50,000 for your funeral and other final expenses, including your credit card debt, with no medical exam, starting at less than $1 a day.
Honey, your dad and I can't stop talking about this baby that's coming.
We've also been thinking a lot about our future. And no matter what, we want to make sure we aren't leaving you and your family with any of our debts.
Just last week, we read that the price of a funeral can be $8,000 or more.
Wow. Jeff and I definitely would not have the money to pay for that.
And that's just a funeral. But you don't have to worry. We called, and with one phone call, we were eligible for $50,000 for our funeral and final expenses.
Well, that's great. But don't you need to take a medical exam to qualify? You and Mom have some health issues.
No, there's no medical exam, and we were able to get coverage right over the phone.
And our rates can never be increased. Our benefits can never be decreased. And our coverage can never be canceled.
I'm so glad you made that call.
Don't leave loved ones with your debt. Call 800-726-9756 now and see if you qualify for up to $50,000 for your funeral and other final expenses, starting at less than $1 a day. There's no medical exam, and you can be approved even if you have pre-existing health conditions. Your rates can never be increased, your benefits can never be decreased, and your coverage can never be canceled. There's no obligation. Call 800-726-9756 now. There's no paperwork, no hidden fees, and no waiting periods. And you can start coverage right over the phone, starting at less than $1 a day. Call 800-726-9756. That's 800-726-9756. 800-726-9756.
Say goodbye to old, ill-fitting dentures. Dental Specialists and Implant Center is the right place to transform your smile. Regain your ability to laugh, chew, talk, and even kiss with full confidence. With Dr. Adriana Wells, you can feel at ease, calm, and with almost pain-free care. Our top-notch in-house lab with scanners and 3D printers can help you achieve a full, beautiful smile with just a few visits. Experience a new era in dental care. Don't wait. Schedule today.
Picture someplace that you love. Where are you?
Sullivan's Crossing, Wednesday, July 24th.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We continue to work for you as we are tracking Hurricane Beryl making its landfall here in Houston. And we have our chief meteorologist, Adam Kruger, who's providing us with the latest on the track of this hurricane, as it has already made landfall hours ago. But the center of it is right over the Katy Freeway, if I'm not mistaken, right now. Is that the case?
It is just west of Houston, the center of a hurricane. It still is officially a hurricane right now. Pretty wild to see that. And note that on radar, the strongest rain and most intense rain is really from Houston north and east now. So we are seeing rain let up a little bit to the south and west. But we have the very strong winds that really have gotten to their strongest point in Houston just in the last 30 or 40 minutes. They're kind of right on the edge of the eye wall, if you will, right now in the middle of Houston. So Sharon, you talked about the power outage. We're approaching that 2 million mark, right, for customers without power, and that number probably still going up. Now it's going to be areas north of Houston where the strongest winds are headed here pretty soon.
Very much so. In fact, again, it's still over 1.7 million people don't have power, and we know those numbers are going to go up. So, of course, we're going to keep you posted on all of the developments. Of course, this storm is moving. It's moving slowly, but it is moving, which is going to be good news for hopefully people who are trying to get out of course, their homes, but they don't need to do it just yet. You need to wait until things calm down, till this is completely out of our area. I'd say don't leave your home till tomorrow if you can. That would be even safer. But we are following all of this. As you can take a live look, this is a look, or try to look at the Houston Galleria area, where this is from that Uptown Park camera, courtesy of earthcam.com. The rain is still coming down. The rain bands are still hitting throughout the Houston area. So this is going to last, as Adam said, for some time longer, at least for about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He's going to give you more details on that coming up in our next half hour. But as a reminder, everyone, you need to continue to watch us. If you lose power, make sure you are online with us on your phones at CW39.com. We are live streaming the entire coverage of what's going on with your weather, with your roadways, with the flooding, with the wind conditions, with damage that's happening, and more. We have a lot more coming up in just a moment here at CW39 Houston. No wait, weather and traffic.